Hey, what's happening everybody? Charles Maring here, and today I'm talking about my Lumix lineup of cameras. I've got a Lumix GH5 here, Lumix GH5S, Lumix G9. What do they all have in common? Well, a lot of different things, but one of the things they have in common is that beautiful, buttery, L.Monochrome black and white mode. We're gonna talk about it, but first let's cut to that intro. For those of us who absolutely love black and white, Lumix has really nailed it with this L.Monochrome mode. I was up at Hunt's Photographic, myself and my wife, giving some different programs on photography. She did a program on portrait photography. I did a program on how the camera is at the center of everything we do as entrepreneurs, as modern artists, as photographers, filmmakers, so on and so forth. And lo and behold, this question comes out of nowhere, as it always does. How did you get that beautiful black and white that I'm looking at? Well, I have a favorite mode in the Lumix lineup of cameras called L.Monochrome that I shoot with all the time. I shoot a lot of video with it. I shoot a lot of photography with it. Let's go into how to set up a camera, but also share some footage with you as well. My wife and I were in Italy. You can actually check out these vlogs. I'll put some links to it. But we were on assignment in Italy and we had a couple of extra days, so we thought, let's go to Venice just to enjoy some time together. And my wife, she loves doing street photography, capturing the people, the places, and she really loves working in black and white. And she fell in love with the L.Monochrome mode, working as a still photographer in Italy. And as soon as I saw what she was seeing, I switched over my camera, shot all this video you're seeing here of her walking the streets and the people and the place and the things. And I fell in love with L.Monochrome myself for video. Now, when you shoot video or you shoot JPEGs for stills, however you set up your camera, that's baked in when you get home. I can't get home and say, whoa, I wish I shot this video in color. But it's so beautiful in black and white that I find myself doing a lot of video these days. I've even had wedding clients request me, after seeing this, to shoot their entire wedding in black and white. It's a blessing when that happens because it's so artistic and so fun to do. But one of the cool parts for Jennifer is that she captured all of her stills in RAW. And what that means is when I get home from Italy and we upload everything into Lightroom, well, we have everything in L.Monochrome and we have everything in color because we worked in RAW, and Adobe Lightroom now has all of our Lumix camera profiles built in. Let's show you how to set up a camera first, then we'll dive into Lightroom and show you how to find that L.Monochrome setting if that's what you desire. So we're gonna dive into this Lumix GH5S, which I have here on my desk. This is the back of my art studio you're seeing here, my little YouTube studio. And so I'm gonna just tilt it down so that I can see the menu. On the back, I'm just clicking on menu, takes us into the menu. I wanna be right where we are, which is that little camera on the left side of things here. So don't need to scroll anywhere, I'm already there. Click right and come down in the menu to Photo Style. And these are all of our different profiles. Now, I shoot a lot of color in just that standard profile. Don't touch a thing. I love the way Lumix has things set up already. But I'm in love with L.Monochrome. This is the standard monochrome, which is kind of just a flat neutral monochrome. But the L.Monochrome has this beautiful way of working with all the different tones. I'm going to click Set. And it seems to have just a whole different kind of look and feel, very artistic. I love this setting. We are set in our camera, and now as you can see, the back of the art studio is in black and white in this L.Monochrome mode, just like the video you just saw. So let's go and jump into Lightroom now and set up a Lightroom catalog and show you where to find these settings so that you have it all at your fingertips. We'll also talk about RAW versus JPEG, process 1 or 2 files, just kind of give you some ideas on that front on how best to shoot. So we're diving into the computer. Over on the laptop, I've got a folder set up here called Venice. This is the video you just saw. Below it, I have my RAW files, which I just pulled over a few, put it in a folder called RAW. And I'm going up to the top here and I'm gonna click on Lightroom Classic Open. Now it needs to navigate to a folder or a Lightroom catalog. I don't already have one, so I'm going to click Choose, Create New Catalog. I'll create a new folder called called Venice LR for Lightroom. Click Create, and now we'll save this in here. Let's see, Venice LR, and save that catalog. It's opening as a blank catalog, and we're going to go to the library module, upper right, and we're going to go up to File, upper left, Import Photos and Video. I'm only bringing in the photos this time. Clicking on RAW. There's the photos I want to bring in. Now, we shot everything in RAW. That means if we were in standard profile, it's going to come in color. If it's in L.Monochrome, it's going to come in L.Monochrome for the thumbnails, but then you'll see when we actually physically import, that's not really the case. It's going to bring everything in color, and everything in color how we cropped it. As you can see here, we were shooting some in 4:3, some in 16:9, depending on our mood. So, but what if we want everything in L.Monochrome, the way we saw it in camera? Well, whether they came in color or not, now we can go up in the Develop module, click on Develop, upper right, and over here on the right, you'll see Profile. Adobe Color is how everything comes into Lightroom naturally, but we're going to go down to Browse, and now you'll see all sorts of different options. Here we want to click on, I'm just going to close all these so you can see them all. These are all different processes you can give your files, but we want to click on Camera Matching, and now I'm going down to, here's all our settings that are in our Lumix cameras: Cinelike D, V, Natural, Portrait, Scenery, Standard, Vivid, Monochrome, and L.Monochrome is there. Beautiful thing. So I'm going to click Close. We have just used that in-camera profile to process our RAW file, and now I'm going to click on it and click on the thumbnail, click on Command A to select all, click Sync. That's going to sync anything I've applied, including the treatment and profile, to all the files that I have selected. And there we have it. Now we have just how we saw it in camera in the streets of Italy in that L.Monochrome mode. But let's talk about processing just a little bit. I have a lot of photographers, including a lot of pros, who will say, well, I just nail it in camera, so I shoot JPEG. I get that. I understand, because I shoot JPEG for some things. But I know that if I shoot JPEG, I never shoot JPEG on pro jobs or even my own street photography, because I know there's more to be had, more to be seen. A lot of times as photographers, we expose for the highlights because we don't want to lose detail in our highlights. And what that means is a print like I'm about to show you winds up being, I'm exposing more to get detail in the sky. They are in shadow of the sun here. They end up too dark. If I shot JPEG just like shooting video, it would just be baked in. I would have no room for wiggle. Could I bring up the curves? Yes. But it still wouldn't be quite the same as a RAW file. Watch what I can do. I go over to the right for highlights. If I want to bring see how much detail are in the sky there, I can bring the highlights down a little bit, get a little more cloud detail, but watch what happens when I boost the shadows. Comes right up, boom, all the way if we wish. Now, we were working at an ISO that was kind of a low ISO. So if we zoom into 100%, when we boost the shadows, we have to be very careful, because you will wind up with a touch of noise when you do so. So I generally don't push them all the way, but sometimes I do. It depends on my mood. And if I do see a little bit of noise, I want to reduce that noise, I'll just go down to noise reduction and just add a little bit of noise reduction. What that will do is it will soften that noise, but at the same time soften the whole image. But soft images are not necessarily a bad thing, because digital cameras tend to have very, very sharp imagery compared to film. And so when we add a little bit of noise reduction, in a way it kind of mimics the softness of film and actually gives it a little bit of an ethereal vibe. So let's go over to, I don't know, another file here. We can grab that. Let's see what else we got. This couple in the street. Look at this old couple in the street here. Again, when you're working in cities especially, it's very tough when you're in dark alleys like this to get this exposed for and the sky exposed for. No way we could have done it, but we can have some more detail. And we can bring up those shadows more as well. And that's the beauty of working in RAW. It gives us this latitude in the imagery to be able to bring things to life that we otherwise would have been kind of flat and not really working to our benefit. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, I love this. There's a little girl walking in the street. She's walking a little chihuahua here. My wife captured this as the girl looked over. I'm just gonna go in and crop this in, get rid of the man walking by. Here he's not adding anything. Straighten it up just a little bit. Click enter. And now, but look how much more detail we can bring back into the building because we did shoot in RAW. Beautiful thing. And look what we can do here. We can actually bring up those shadows. And now we have this incredible dynamic range to the image. There's a hint of noise here, I will say that. So I'm just gonna go and add a touch of noise reduction. It will soften that just a little bit. And look how beautiful this little photograph is of this girl walking her dog in the streets of Italy. I want to show you this in color as well though, because I think it's important to see that yes, we did all this. How beautiful is it? We can get back, we can have it in black and white, but we could also just as easily have it in color, do the same kind of adjustments in color, bring up the shadows, add that touch of noise reduction, crop it, and so on and so forth. And you say to yourself, well, how big of prints can I print off these Lumix files? Add that little touch of noise reduction. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I print any size I feel the mood for. Let me just unlock that and we'll just kind of do a 4x5 crop in here. Look at that, straighten it up. I print any size I wish. Let me show you an example here in my studio. So this is a 24x30 of the print that you just saw, and it is remarkably detailed, remarkably beautiful. Do I worry about printing big off of these Lumix cameras? Heck no, I don't. The bigger, the better in a lot of ways. And so even a file that we pushed that far in the shadows still looks gorgeous when printed, even large sizes like that. Don't question it at any time. But if you ever feel like you're getting photographer's block, kind of like writer's block, maybe it's time to shift your mindset in camera. The beauty of mirrorless cameras is that you see through the viewfinder and on the LCD exactly what you're gonna get. Switch it to L.Monochrome, but work in RAW if you're shooting stills. And when you get home, when you're working, you're seeing it in that beautiful L.Monochrome. When you get home, you got the best of both worlds sitting and waiting for you in Lightroom if you decide you loved it in black and white or loved it in color. Also, get out and shoot some video this way. It's so pretty to look at. You're not even gonna wanna shoot in color. I appreciate you, everybody. You have a great one. Take care.